Hey guys, I want to talk to you about mindsets. Okay, and the thing I really want to hit on is the difference between a mindset of victimhood and a mindset of power. And I think, specifically for men, we typically want to be in power, right? We want to be in a mindset where we're not scared of the day. We're not fearing what we've got to do today. We feel excited. We feel powerful. We feel in charge. And we feel like God's given us dominion over our whole day. And really, that's, I think, the frame of mind that we're meant to live in. But how often do you wake up and you just think, I've got so much to do today. I've got such a long to-do list. I've got such a big task list ahead of me. I feel overwhelmed. I don't even want to get out of bed, to be frank, sometimes. Like, how often do you just feel that sense of overwhelm right when you wake up in the morning? Because I feel it frequently, if I'm being honest. And something that God has been teaching me is that is a mindset of victimhood. And when you, how do I phrase it? When you look at what you have for the day and you think, that's not fair, that's too much for me, I shouldn't have to do that, this is too busy, like, I'm overwhelmed, there's too much on my plate, my family member or my spouse or whatever is not picking up the slack, I've got too much, I need help, I shouldn't have to do all this. That's when you're in a victimhood mindset. You're complaining, you're feeling sorry for yourself, you're feeling just not good about your day, and you're approaching life from a place of, okay, I guess this is what I have for today. I really shouldn't have to do this. This really shouldn't be the way my day is going. This really shouldn't be, where I have to spend my time and energy. I wish it wasn't this way. I wish my life was different. Yada, yada, yada. I'm not happy. And I think that's a common mindset to get into. It's easy. It's natural to look at your day and say, this is too much. But when you do that, you are actually like ceding power to something other than yourself for the day. And obviously, we're not in charge. The Lord is first and foremost over us and over our day. But He wants us to have dominion over our lives and over the day and over the way we go about our day, right? He wants us to be in charge, to take authority, to take ownership of our day. And I think what I'm trying to say is you really can't take ownership of something you're complaining about. And if you can't take ownership of it, you can't take authority over it. And if you can't take authority over it, you can't have power. Can you sit? Can you sit? Sit. Good boy. This is Brody. If you've got a to-do list and you look at it and you say, this is too much, I shouldn't have to do this, this is more than I can handle, my spouse should be doing more, somebody else should be handling this, like, this is beneath me, this is too much for me, I shouldn't have to do all this. That immediately puts you in a victimhood mindset about the things that you have to do today. And so instead of you saying, okay, this is the day I have, this is the schedule I have, these are the things I need to get done today, how do I want to do this? How do I want to go about this? How am I going to take charge of the situation and make the most of it and lead and be a powerful man of God today in these circumstances? How am I going to do this? Instead of you saying, how can I blank? How can I do this well? How can I be faithful in this? How can I take charge? How can I lead? How can I help? How can I serve? Instead of that, you're complaining. And when you step out of the leadership spot and instead say, I shouldn't have to do this, how can I get out of this? Is essentially what you're asking yourself. You don't have power anymore. Because you're not serving, you're not leading, you're not taking charge, you're not taking authority, you're not deciding how you want to do it. You're hoping it's going to go away, you're hoping someone else will handle it, you're doing it begrudgingly. And I'm not saying you have to enjoy everything, but you do have to embrace reality. One of my best mentors always taught me that resistance is basically the root of all insecurity. And it's true. If you resist reality, like the reality is, I'm one person, I have these things to do, this is my day, this is the time I have, that's reality. If I'm resisting it and saying, I don't want to, I wish I didn't have to, that's so bad, I don't want to do it, if that's where I'm coming at it from, then I'm resisting it. And I can't have power over things I'm resisting. And so you're going to feel powerless and worthless and like someone else is running your life if you approach your day that way. And that's not how we were meant to live as men. You are meant to live with dominion and power and say, okay, this is my reality. How am I going to take charge of the situation? What am I going to do to make sure this gets done the way it should get done, and I still meet my own needs, and I still have what I need to be healthy and safe or fulfilled in my life today, but I'm going to get these things done. How can I take ownership of all of this and see that it's done well? But he's excited. That puts you in a position of power. Because now instead of saying, I'm resisting my reality, you're saying, okay, I'm embracing reality. I'm going to embrace the way that reality is for me right now. And instead of resisting it, I'm going to take charge of it. What can I do to make sure my life unfolds the way that I want it to today, despite the reality of the things that I have to do today? All of these things that feel like they're in my way, I'm going to own them, and I'm going to do them, and I'm going to take charge of them. I'm going to make sure this gets done the best way possible. So you're saying, how can I take charge of this? That puts you in a position of power, and you're going to feel powerful. You're going to feel like you're in charge. You're going to feel like you can conquer the world because you're saying, you know what? This looks challenging, but instead of resisting it, I'm going to conquer it. I'm going to take authority over this and own it. And when you do that, things feel a lot more possible. You feel more powerful as a man. You feel more capable to handle more things. And you're just able to do life the way you would like to do it because you're in charge. You're surrendering to the Lord, obviously. It's Zoomy time. Don't mind my dog while he plays. So instead of saying, man, I wish I didn't have to do all this stuff today, I wish my life was easier, I don't like my life, I'm just going to stay in bed and hope that it goes away. Instead of approaching your whole day in a state of resistance and fear and victimhood, you're saying, I'm going to own today. I've got these things to do. I'm going to line them up. I'm going to knock them down. And then I'm going to do some fun stuff. I'm going to own this because this is my reality. I'm going to embrace it. And when you do that, I love dogs. When you own your day, it puts you in a position of power. And that's where insecurity melts away. The enemy will try to tell you this is too much. Be fearful. Be a victim. That's not God's mindset for you. God's mindset is, you're the man. I put you here to rule the earth. You're in charge. Take ownership of your day and feel good about it. And when you do that, you're going to feel so excited. You're going to feel so powerful. And you're going to feel like, I am a capable, strong man. I'm doing the things I want to do. And I'm stoked about it. And I don't feel like an insecure little boy who's afraid of my day. Because that's how a lot of us wake up. But you don't have to stay that way. When you sense that coming up, you start to feel that insecurity rise up in you, maybe in the morning, maybe in the middle of the day, whenever it is, that says, oh, I don't want to do that thing, I'm afraid, I hope I don't have to do that. And you start to feel resistant and fearful, insecure, and hesitant, and like a general victimhood comes on you. Stop right there and say, I disagree with victimhood. I disagree with complaining. I disagree with fear. I'm going to own these things. I'm going to go through them with the heart of Jesus, the Spirit of God with me. I'm going to own these things today. I'm going to conquer them, and I'm going to have a great day. And I embrace where God has me today. God has put me here for these things today, and I'm excited for them. If you need to repeat that to yourself 20,000 times, do it. But the more you do that, the more you live in that kind of mindset, the less fear and trembling and just hesitation you're going to live with. I promise you. Don't live your day in fear. You don't have to. You're not meant to. It sucks. Don't do it. Live your day in power. Own the things you want to do. Here's a practical thing. I find it useful. I need to get better at doing this every day, but I find it useful to sit down midday before, the night before, or very early in the morning and say, what are my top things today? Line them up on a sheet of paper, make sure they actually matter, and say, all right, I'm going to own these. Here's how I'm going to do them. Here's when I'm going to do them. And then I'm going to do this rewarding thing afterwards, or whatever you need to do. But line up your tasks, your goals, the things you need to do on a daily basis so that you know going into the day what you're going to do, and you can be expectant that they're going to be good and they're going to be fruitful, and that you're going into it with the Spirit of God, and He's put you there today for this purpose, not for you to tremble in fear and be afraid that your day is going to be overwhelming, but for you to be in power, for you to be excited, and for you to really just rule your day. And so I hope that helps. Get out of that victimhood mindset. It doesn't help anybody. Nobody's a victim in that sense. It doesn't help anybody. It's a lie. Step into power. Decide to accept, embrace, and own, and take authority over the things that you've got to do today. Get freedom from that insecurity. Get clarity about what your goals are, and take authority over them. I'll see you in the next video.